My name is Jack Burchill. I live here in St. John's in Portland, Oregon, and I am the founder and director of the Cast Iron Carousel Marionette Troupe. I was always a storyteller. I used to draw comic books, and I really enjoyed drawing, but I was always interested in delving into other medias. Once I discovered puppetry, it was just storytelling again, but with so many other avenues. The exploration in puppetry has been endless, and I don't expect it to ever stop. By the time a puppet ends up in a show, it's usually got between 70 and 120 hours of work put into it. Each puppet that I build gives me the ability to tell more stories. When I'm drafting, I'm really thinking a lot about the character, and I'm informed by the script, but it's also kind of my internal vision of what this character looks like and acts like. I've come to Patreon because it's a good platform for odd art forms, things that not everybody understands immediately the value of, but it's something that there's going to be a few people who look at the work I do and recognize that there is something worth preserving here. There's something worth making sure this art form perpetuates into the future. I like using a traditional carving knife to carve the puppet because I can really feel the grain of the wood and the direction. I like being in touch with the history of marionette building and the craft of it. Nothing really captures what it's like to be around these little people who move around in this very lifelike way and draw you in. And especially for adults, the ability to suspend that disbelief, you sort of sit down and you first see the puppet, and first you're feeling the novelty of, look at that little stringed wooden thing walking around like it's a person. And within just a few minutes, you've forgotten completely that it's a puppet. You're just captivated by the show. There's so much beauty in the handcrafted elements and the painted stage and handmade costumes and everything else. So I think people will walk away with a really dear experience. I'm interested in preserving this art form and perpetuating it into the future, finding students who want to learn this, producing the patterns and templates that they need in order to do that, helping people skip a lot of the effort, the trial and error, the hardship that I went through to earn this knowledge. I'm hoping to help accelerate that learning process for anyone who helps me produce these patterns and templates and everything else.
The world seems small. We can sit together.
I'm constantly working on new iterations, new approaches. I'm engineering and solving problems. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into that, from building camera rigs in order to film it, and sets and props and everything else that goes into it. I have to look directly at the puppet when I'm painting the pupils. I want to get that sense that she's looking directly back at me.
You and me.
There's all kinds of crazy marionette projects that I've worked on, but puppets of all kinds.
The great outdoors, forever free.
Some of the things that I want to do on Patreon is some people will get custom marionettes. A lot of people will be getting patterns as I produce them, technique videos, tutorial videos. I'm producing this stuff fairly frequently, and I'm working toward eventually publishing a book. There's going to be some people who participate in this just to help me get that book done. And of course, those people will receive the book when it's completed. There's other people who just want to see stuff like this happen in the world. And that creates the most convincing walking. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Next we have Nancy. the kangaroo. So it's flick her tail up, and when she's at the apogee of her jump, then I start lifting this so she catches herself. So in fast motion, it sort of just looks like this.
You and me, meant to be.
So I'm asking you to help me keep this going. Make sure the studio stays open. Make sure the information is accessible to others. Thank you for donating to my Patreon.